The following podcast has been brought to you by Audible.com. Sign up now using the URL audibletrial.com/TTV to get a free audiobook of your choosing. We recommend Brick by Brick, How LEGO Rewrote the Rules of Innovation and Conquered the Global Toy Industry. You may recognize this as one of the sources we use in our show, Bionicle Autopsy. Remember, that's audibletrial.com/TTV. Enjoy the show. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
sync!
Hey! What's up, everybody?
Why would you do this?
How's it going?
Because I just wanted to say hi. What's your problem, dude?
Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 149 of the TTV Podcast.
Mardi Gras!
There you go. Man, we're one away.
Man.
One away from the big 150.
No, man.
I know, we're so close.
Man, if you finish that sentence, I am going to fire you in this instant.
I'm gonna end you. I will end you right now.
Kai, I'm ending you. You're terminated.
Speaking of being terminated, the Terminator. That's coming out,
I'll be bald.
right?
Mardi Gras.
Amelia Clark, Daenerys.
How's it,
Why? You're just saying names. What are you trying to say?
I don't know what Kai's trying to say at all.
Well, my
Just like listing out
dragon.
names.
So, yeah,
Daenerys, Jon Snow, and Harry Potter. And,
No, I'm saying Amelia Clark is in the Terminator film, who is also Daenerys.
Amelia Clark and Britney
Clark
Spears and
Bruce Wayne, John Wayne, Wayne,
Mr. Wayne.
Wade,
Mr. Wayne.
Wanda,
my
the
man,
cave woman.
Bojangles.
Come on, guys! What are you doing?
Harvey Putter,
Naming names.
What are you doing in this podcast?
Skull Scorpio, Skull Grinder,
Skull.
See, there's
Tahu.
correlation between them.
Not Tahu,
Zatan.
Tehu.
Oh, that actually reminds me. I learned some disturbing things about you, Viper, that I did not want to know.
I
What?
thought she was a female.
Oh, that she's into Tahu?
Yeah, that she's into Tahu. I listened to the latest TTV talks. Viper, I don't have very many words
Listen.
for you that are kind.
Listen,
Listen,
Tahu is pretty cute, man. He's super perky.
Like I said, I'm just like a 5-year-old girl. I'm not gonna think of inappropriate, rude things at that age, believe me.
well,
That-
alright,
yeah, I
let's,
mean, I used to-
let's,
Yeah, the
let's
only
not,
thing she
like, let's
thought
be
was,
fair.
oh,
LJ
I-
here is so obsessed with Leela that he literally named himself after Leela.
Listen, man.
Yeah, I know, that's actually, that's a
He
sign of
stole
dedication.
Leela's
That's a little-
identity. That's like a
That's a
huge...
little weird,
Can I-
yeah.
Can
You were
like,
such
it's
a fan.
The same thing.
You were such a fan of the Toanuva. You literally stole their identity.
No, I mean,
Tahi.
you know how, like, if you're a girl and you want to get married to somebody, you try your name with their last name? You know that LJ stands for Lewa Johnson? I'm just saying. Hey.
He's got a point. He's got a point there, LJ. You can't deny this.
I
this
can
is true, man.
certainly deny this, but it won't go very far.
No, you can't.
Well, I can
Yeah,
deny
won't,
it.
because,
It just
you know,
won't
it's
go
not
anywhere.
True. You know,
So,
it's not true,
guys, yes. How's it going?
Skull Grinder, Zatan.
This intro destabilized
Lewa
so
Johnson.
quickly, I don't even know what to make of it.
That's
But
implying,
Tahu.
so that's implying it was
Tahu
stabilized
Juan.
to begin with.
Yeah, it never kind of went off the rails, like, from the get-go.
As stabilized Nintendo's E3 conference, am I right?
No copyrighted music.
Nectar and Skralls and Takanuva. Wow, that's a lineup of stars you got there. Ha ha
Wait.
ha.
And Skralls?
I don't believe in stars.
Skralls!
What the heck is a
I don't
scroll?
know.
Super Scrawl! Super Scrawl, Bionicle
Super
Marvel
Scrawl.
crossover.
The Elder Skralls 4.
Nice. Anyway, let's just say our names. I'm messing up.
I'm Barteran.
I'm LJ.
I'm Kahi.
I'm
I'm
Viper.
Venom.
Okay.
You guys!
How many times have we done this?
How many times do we have to rehearse this?
Okay.
You screwed it up again!
Viper, you need to
We
stop
literally put it in the
talking
chat.
over me.
Stop the
You know what?
copy!
You, and me,
No, you're not! You're
we are
acting
done.
Venom!
We are done professionally. I no longer want to associate myself
Alright,
with
whatever,
you. Man,
goodbye!
This
I
is
don't
why.
care.
You guys are professionals! You're supposed to be professionals!
This is why I don't
care.
come on the podcast anymore, because I just get talked over by frickin' Viper over here.
Viper steamrolls over everyone. She's Viper.
Let's take that again.
You have a bunch of
No!
Donnas.
I'm Messinac.
No, I'm not
What are
getting
you
talked
doing?
over again, dude.
What are you doing? We can't just do it all over again. Just okay, that's Vin and that's Viper. Viper's that person and Vin is that person. No one can see me pointing, so I don't know why.
Viper's the one that sounds like she's from Harry Potter, and Venom's the one that sounds like he's from...
No, the
That
Venom's
drug
the one that
scene
sounds like
Breaking Bad.
Messinac.
Oh yeah, Vin sounds like
Oh, yeah, Ven sounds like Messinac.
Venomac. Confirmed.
Oh my gosh.
guys. Okay, I want you guys to say a sentence real quick. Say
Apples.
Master no. Team Lock over Team Chief.
Okay. Team Lock over Team Chief.
Okay.
Okay,
Team Lock over Team Chief.
you're supposed to say it normally, Vin. Like your normal
That is
voice.
normal.
That is not your normal voice.
It's very normal.
That's very
Listen.
normal.
Listen, okay?
Hey,
Our
listen.
voices don't sound the
They
same,
don't sound alike.
but
I
we
know,
do sound
I know what
similar.
you need to say, Vin. Say, I need to get some snacks so we can play Humane Labs.
I need to get some snacks so we can play Humane Labs.
I know this with absolute certainty.
I know this. Listen. With absolute certainty.
What is this, Roast of Mesa 149 edition?
Dude, it's a roast of me at the beginning there. It's not like this is like a roast of everybody.
You guys act
episode.
like we don't roast just every single person in the call.
Yeah,
all the
like
time.
every
It's true,
single
it's true.
time we record an episode, somebody's gonna get picked on.
That's
is
just
very
how it
true.
works here at TTV.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
We bully everybody on a
Everyone
regular
here
basis.
is
You
It's
really
how it
have to
works.
like
have
a
a
big
strong-
nose.
Some companies have a culture of like creativity, and we have a culture of bullying.
Who's
It works
next
fine
on the
for
Wheel
everybody
of
because it's
Fortune,
entertaining.
then?
You can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
You screwed that up! It goes, you can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose.
LJ,
Yeah?
we're gonna have a talk after this recording.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever correct me again on air. You got it?
We don't question the boss man, okay?
Yeah.
Unless it's a Bionicle related thing, in which case I'll question him every day.
Resisting
Wow.
the urge to curse you out right now.
One
So,
day,
guys,
Donald Trump.
I forgot Bionicle. Okay, now we
Yeah.
can
Oh,
continue.
right, Bionicle.
That word, there you go. Good job.
How about this week we lead in with Bionicle news instead of, like, talking about Vessel?
Guys, I have a question.
What?
Ugh.
What is a Bionicle?
It's
A biological chronicle.
Yeah. Yep.
But what is a Bionicle to the Bionicle?
A chronicle of life.
So, like, if like we look at Vakama's saying, he goes, "This is the tale of the Bionicle." So, is he saying this is the tale of the biological chronicle?
Well,
Yes.
look at it like this, Var.
Why are there? Why does it have so many tails? Is it like the nine-tailed
Yeah,
fox?
is it like a...
Bionicle is Naruto confirmed.
No, I was thinking Pokemon Ninetales.
There's a Pokemon Ninetales?
There is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
Like, when you...
Is it actually
Kidding
called
me?
Ninetales?
It's one of the original Pokemon.
Yeah, well...
Dude, I don't give a crap about
When you-
Pokemon. Pokemon's stupid. Digimon all the
when
way.
you-
Yeah,
Like,
alright!
Mystery Dungeon, there's like
Oh,
this
I
whole
know
thing
you're
about...
lying.
There's this whole thing about, oh, you pulled the nine-tailed tail, and I'm like, what?
You pulled
Wait.
the nine-tailed tail.
And now I'm cursed,
All
and
I'm
now
seeing
I'm
is a
Pokemon.
Naruto ripoff.
Oh,
Nice.
So,
Naruto.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a Naruto ripoff, man.
You're a Naruto ripoff.
Have you guys ever watched Shippuden?
No.
No.
I haven't watched Naruto, hence why I didn't know.
Naruto.
It's amazing, and just watching the original Naruto series and just seeing Naruto go from this like little piece of crud to becoming an actual worthwhile person. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty hard to go back to the original anime because he's just so useless. It's actually very cringeworthy. It kind of reminds me of Vakama in Legend of Metro. I have to bring it back to Bionicle. It kind of reminds me of Vakama in Legends of Metro Nui, where he was completely useless and just did nothing while everyone else did everything.
I'm a terrible.
I'm glad we have their attention now.
Yeah. Okay, so Bionicle.
So yeah, Bionicle.
So what's been happening this week? Well,
This week.
the sets are basically getting released everywhere, except for the U.S.
It's driving
They're
Thor
out pretty
nuts.
much everywhere.
Is it? Is it really driving me nuts?
Yeah, it's oh wait, no, it was either you or Ven. It's driving someone here.
No,
nuts.
it was you. I'm gonna do what you did to me. Off air, you were like, "Man, Lego, they're really screwing us over. They're not putting the sets out in the U.S. Everybody's getting them." This
I just don't understand why it's driving me nuts. I didn't even know me nuts had wheels.
Oh,
Why did I work for you?
Because you have no choice.
When we signed the contract with our blood, we are now bound by soul.
It's because wait, bound by souls. You can't die. You're gonna lose your souls. You gotta turn those in for upgrades.
Yes. But no, yeah, the sets are out pretty much everywhere. And people are starting to get their hands on them, and people are starting to review them, and, take
I'm
photos
very jealous
and
of them.
videos. Yeah, I more than mask more than anything.
I want those views more than anything.
Of course you do.
Wow, well,
Want that money more than anything, yo.
Of
with
course
all
you
the
do.
good, with all the good in life, there always comes something bad. And now that we're getting reviews of these sets, we're starting to peer into their inner workings and really start to understand what makes them tick.
No,
And
we're
like-
starting
like
to understand. We're starting to understand what makes you tick.
There's gaps. That's the short version. There's awful gaps that make me question life. I'm gonna throw a picture up on the screen of Skull Grinder from the side.
Skull grind.
This is when CCBS starts to really show that it still has a lot of development to go.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is where the stick figure torsos really start to hurt
I don't understand why they
things.
didn't just use a longer torso.
Yeah.
Nor do I.
Don't they have a torso that long?
They do, but they would have had to recolor it in silver, and they probably did not want
Well, they
to.
already recolored this one in silver.
Yeah, but that's in all the other sets.
Well, why not include that in all the other sets then?
Because all the other sets don't need it. Because they're just like regular, villains. They don't have raised shoulders.
Why can't they have raised shoulders then?
Because that would inflate the piece count.
Would it though?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm
Well,
certain.
yes. I didn't say it inflate the price. It would inflate the piece count, to add the pieces to do the raised shoulders for no reason.
But does it not increase the piece count by
But-
adding the small piece to Skull Grinder so that he can have an extra piece to raise his neck up and then an extra piece to connect the chest piece to his already short torso?
Look.
I mean,
it adds-
regardless
it-
of what we're doing, we're inflating the piece count. So wouldn't it just make
It adds
sense to
one-
do
it
the
adds
thing that
one
makes it look
piece.
better?
It adds one piece.
Well, technically,
Not
technically
every
two
set.
pieces.
Wait a second. They found the one piece?
Technically 4 pieces because
No, let's roll with this. What do you mean?
Because you've got that
pieces
extra
is that?
piece that adds to the link to the neck, then you've got that extra piece that connects to the torso, which then connects the chest piece to the torso, and then you've got the 2 black pins that you need to connect that piece to the torso.
Even if they'd used a big torso, they still would have had to use that piece.
Why?
Because they used the ball joint on the torso for back armor.
Ah, interesting.
So if they wanted to attach the front armor, they would have had to use that anyway. It just would have, and it would have still been gappy, don't get me wrong. It just wouldn't have been as weirdly proportioned as it is, because this is a common thing. Sets have done this before. This isn't like a new technique. Furno XL did this.
But I mean, did they really need to use that ball joint for that back piece? I'm sure there's another way to have
no,
done
not
that.
really. I mean, the masters did it inverted.
Right.
They put the lift arm on the
And
back.
it worked for
then had
them,
the
and
back
it
armor
clearly
there.
doesn't work for Skull Grinder.
No, it doesn't.
So, I mean,
a
why
terrible
not just
decision.
do what would look better?
Yeah,
Because they're stupid. And they felt like raising his shoulders without actually recoloring a new piece, so they had to compromise in some ways.
Meso, I recall you trying to make me sound dumb there. I know that happened.
Ooh.
I caught that.
By the way, for the record, the sets have come out as per the recording of this podcast in Germany, the UK, and France. Nowhere else.
Well, thank you for that info.
Yeah,
You guys
thanks
should
there.
go hunt them down.
It's for the listeners,
You
for
guys
anyone
should go
curious.
hunt them down.
We got LJ
Wait, did you say-
reporting on the scene.
Wait, LJ, did you say Germany?
Yeah. Oh, don't do this.
Don't.
Well, that's nice for Germany.
Come on. Did you not know he was going to say that? Come on. Dude.
Call back. Call
That
back.
is
I
a
don't
joke.
even remember what that's a callback to.
It's a joke. Meso. You know how Meso has his stupid phrases.
Yeah, no, I know.
That was one of his original phrases. I think he hasn't said that since like the original first.
IBZP.
Yeah, IVCP joke.
We were reading like an article on BZP about how Legend Reborn got some exclusive behind-the-scenes featurette in Germany, and I was like, "Well, that's nice for Germany," but not.
Okay,
why is
I
that
don't-
news
How
for
did
us?
that make such an impact on you? That you're like,
because-
I'm going to say this again.
Because he then every time any news came up that he didn't find relevant, he would then respond by saying, "That's nice for Germany."
Oh,
Okay, hold the show.
Yes.
of course.
You know what interests
Of
me?
course.
Not the fact that he remembered that phrase, but the fact he remembered the exact instance he originally used that phrase down to the detail.
He's
I
so
got a good
proud of
memory.
it.
I mean,
Well, it's
so
I still
hard
remember
to
last
remember.
night.
Last
last
night.
Did that compilation Mange made ever like make it to the public eye?
I do
what?
not think so, and I wonder if he still has it. He made like the last night compilation.
I don't remember this.
Or like not the compilation,
yeah,
the Meso.
it was really
it was
a
the
remix.
evolution of Meso's voice.
Yeah, it was like a remix where it's like so for context for listeners, back in the day, Meso had this issue where he would repeat himself thinking that he wasn't heard the first time.
It was because of lag.
Okay, fine. Sure, we'll say
Blame the
that.
lag.
But regardless, Meso repeated himself a lot, and like one of the memorable ones was that he was just like, last night, I had a dream," or something like that. But it's just you said it so obnoxiously, so loud, and like so country sounding.
Last night.
But it wasn't slow like that. It's like it was instant. It was like last night. I
I think I still have a clip of it. I can put it in this video if you want. I can like insert it.
yeah, but
Here you go, listeners. Here's what it sounded like.
Last night.
But no, yeah,
did you actually? I wonder if you're gonna actually insert it or not. You're probably gonna forget.
I am. No, I'm gonna do it.
Okay, all right, fine.
But no, yeah.
But then and then
Funny times.
Mange Invictus made like a little remix of it where it's like Meso's voice slowly gets distorted or whatever, so it's just like last night, la la la, or something like that. It was very
I'll have
funny.
to ask him if he still has it.
That reminds me of that one
Maybe we'll
TTV
put it up on
talk, so
Vessel.
we sped up Kahi at the end.
I remember, like, I started ranting, and at the end, I was like, "Var, you should just speed that, slowly
It's like,
speed that up."
so
Until
Victoria's
the end, I'm like chipmunking.
and
It was a
and
hilarious moment.
It's hilarious because the original recording, we basically just sat there in silence for 10 minutes as Kahi rambled about Victorious.
Yeah.
I think
It's a great show. It's a great show, guys.
Of all things.
I think that would
Yeah.
kill me. Absolutely.
Well, then I should
Oh,
do
you
it
should have
again
been
right
in
now.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, guys, that's not nice. Why would we want LJ to die? Who would make
Because he's
recaps?
LJ.
Anybody?
But no, back to
It's
Bionicle.
like reviews are special.
You know, this is our 149th episode. We're almost at 150. And it's almost the 1 year anniversary of
Yes.
Bionicle. It's almost the 1 year anniversary of Bionicle actually being discovered. And I remember a little bit later down the line
yes.
during September, we saw the Mask of Creation finalized for, I believe, the first time. I saw a picture of the actual set version of the Mask of Creation. The detail on that thing is exquisite. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It is pretty interesting.
On
It's a great moment.
the actual piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did notice that it looked a little off though. Like it doesn't the style clashes a little bit. Cuz there's almost like so much detail on it that it doesn't look right on any of the actual figures.
I did notice, like, when some guy put it on Tahu, and I was like, this looks weird.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. And someone put it on Kimu, too, and it's like, it doesn't even look good on a Kimu.
Oh, the mask.
Like,
of creation.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, like the Mask of Creation itself looks great. It looks like an amazing mask, but when you try to mesh it with like some of the other figures, it doesn't really look right.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, from word go, when I saw the mask and it was like such an unorthodox design, I had a fear that it was going to be that way.
Yeah.
But
And it almost seems like the face section of it's too small as well, and the horns are so big that it looks strange. It makes the heads look really, really thin.
To be honest, the mask
Yeah.
always
Cool
did
mask.
look kind of weird compared to what we were used to. It was always very... I don't know what the word would be. Ornamental?
yes, definitely. It's very unorthodox from what we're accustomed to.
Yeah, it is definitely more ornamental. But I don't know. It looked really cool in the animations, and it flows really well, but the actual piece itself just doesn't seem to flow as much with the rest of the style.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be that big of a deal if like the other pieces had as much detailing put into it, but
They don't.
yeah.
I'll tell you what mask looks great, though, and like everything I could have ever wanted. Skull mask.
Yeah, here we go.
Which
I know nobody
one,
nobody
Grinders?
cares but me. Yeah, I know nobody cares but me, but the point has to be said. This is like the perfect mask. If this had been out like 8 years ago, I would not have used the Paraka skull. And my entire identity would have been changed forever.
Your entire identity would have been changed.
It
sure.
looks like some sort of like Iron Maiden mask, like the thing that they used to use in the medieval times to like shame someone. Like they put it in hot metal and
Shame!
like shame, shame.
It's also interesting, like, we
they're,
mentioned
like,
this a long
spritzing
time
holy
ago.
water on them.
We mentioned this a long time ago, but we haven't really mentioned it since. It's a nice bit of correlation to the skull spiders. The forehead has that ridged pattern that, like, the skull spider masks have.
It even has a circle,
So
too.
it's a good bit. It's a good bit of connectivity between the two that really says, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
this
they
is
are
something I
related.
noticed a long time ago. I didn't really.
Yeah, we mentioned it from like the first picture. It's just cool to reinforce again.
Yeah.
You know, I think people still think that's the Mask of Ultimate Power.
People are. Okay.
Don't
I don't want to insult
Yeah,
anybody.
careful now, Messa. You're playing
I don't want to
with
insult
fire.
anybody.
You can insult
Because-
us, but if you insult other people, you know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like the idiots that think they're actual Bohrok Leaks out right now. Am I right? Am I right?
yeah, let's mention that. Okay.
We should talk about that actually.
So short.
Wow, that was obnoxious.
Thank you, Pepper. I'm flattered.
So short version is there's been some leaks going around. This has been a long developing situation. A guy on Tumblr, I think he's actually a fan of ours. I could be wrong though. Posted some rumors that the Bohrok were going to be in 2016. Said his uncle worked at Lego. And naturally, everyone didn't believe it. Some people did, but most people were like, okay, well, this was posted like half a year ago. It's too early for 2016 leaks. And it was very detailed. It wasn't like a set list. It was stuff about the story. Like, how could you possibly know this information? Even if your uncle worked at Lego? So everyone was just kind of moved along and didn't really pay too much mind.
But with that said, I mean, the Bohrok showing up in the new BIONICLE isn't that far-fetched of an idea.
It's very plausible.
Yeah, it
and
could
that's
happen.
that's why nobody like said this is fake 100%. They just kind of passed it along and didn't really put too much stock into it. Then there was another leak which came out on 4chan that said a bunch of other crazy stuff that I don't actually think we ever talked about.
It's funny, I didn't
Like,
even realize there were that many BIONICLE fans on 4chan, but apparently a lot of people there like it.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a good community. This leak said that Akimu was gonna have like a Toa-esque set, and there were going to be new launchers that fired slug creatures out.
Yeah,
And a bunch of other crazy
once
stuff.
again, all of this very plausible. Whether it actually is
Very
true
plausible.
or not, no clue. But it could happen.
Yeah, and a lot of people believed it, and some people didn't, but they passed it along. And now, the latest leak to take the community by storm is that the Bohrok are coming back, and it's based off the initial leak, the initial thing on Tumblr by the dude. And it's like water Bohrok and fire
Right,
Bohrok.
and there's like these little set images of the sets themselves. Now, it should be clarified that the images of these supposed set leaks of the fire and water Bohrok
Are fake.
are separate. Well, we'll get into that. Are separate from the initial rumor that the Bohrok were returning. So those two do
Yeah,
not
different
correlate.
person.
They're not related, other than the fact that whoever made these Bohrok images likely made it because of that rumor.
Yes. That's basically all the backstory necessary. It's the images themselves. Yeah. I kind of want to throw them up in the video, even though they have confidential logos.
And they're not real.
They're so blatantly fake.
They're very, very fake. I'm not even sure if we really need to go into why they're fake, but like
Anybody that sees
apparently
this will
we
know.
do.
I mean,
Var and I kind of came at it from two different angles, and it was pretty awesome how we just gave him the beat down.
yeah. So
I was like, the reason they're
if
fake.
if you're curious about it, we did make a write up on the message boards about it. We could probably
I'll link it in the
we
description.
could probably screenshot it for the video.
Very true. The short version, there was like one piece of evidence which I said, and it was that the Shadow Matoran feet used in the water Bohrok are the old style sockets, which don't exist anymore. Like, even in LEGO, they were redesigned in late 2012 because Toxic Reaper was the last set to use them, and they got gradually rolled out to the new style of sockets that don't break. And from that point on, that's the piece. There's no reason why this set... and also Dragon Bolt's head...
Very
is,
clearly
like, poorly
photoshopped.
So that was pretty much it. There's no... and not to mention other weird stuff. And then Var kind of came at it from an image...
Right, so like I've got
standpoint.
experience using Photoshop. I've used Photoshop for several years, almost a decade, really. No, not a decade. About 5 years, maybe. Regardless, I've used Photoshop for a very long time. I can clear
Not a decade, but half a decade.
half a decade. Yeah, I can clearly see all the little tricks that they used and stuff. So Meso came at it at like a set perspective. Like, could this even feasibly be a set? I came at it more as an image editing perspective. Very clearly that the confidential mark is just multiplied on. Very clear that the text was just typed right into it. The text, it doesn't make any sense. The freaking logo is so blurry and awful looking compared to the actual name of the set. Which, by the way, who uses a serif font on catalog? When have we ever had a catalog image that used a serif font?
Never once.
Never.
And it's never that clear either.
That's what I was about to get into until I got, But yeah, and it's just like the font for the set number is just so clear, like clear as day, when the logo of BIONICLE isn't, which it doesn't make any sense for the logo of BIONICLE to be right above the image anyway, because it just, as far as placement goes, that doesn't make any sense as far as a catalog image goes. But even then, LEGO has access to vector logos of their own logos. They made it. They have vectors. There's no reason for the logo to be so blurry if the text is that clean.
Yeah.
Also, it's aligned perfectly, so if someone were to take a picture of this, it's just like, there's no way it would be that straight. So it's just...
We know what pictures look like of stuff because of the display.
Yeah, it's just
does
so
not like
poorly
that.
done. And even the lighting of the set itself isn't right. All images are usually CGI images when they're used in catalogs and stuff. It's rare that LEGO ever actually uses a real image of the sets for promotion purposes.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's really clear that this was a picture of something that was kind of put together and then placed on this image here. And even
honestly,
then, it's like they photoshopped really poorly, like a dragon bolt head onto it, and there's like a weird wheel thing at the top, and like they tried to make it look like there's like a sheen, like a windscreen on it, where the chrono would go, and it just doesn't look good at all.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Fire Bohrok image?
I have seen
That
it.
one-
I do not have it handy.
That one is more convincing because it's blurry, so you can't
Honestly,
actually make out any details of it.
I think it's
But-
less convincing.
Oh.
Yeah, the weapons, the quote-unquote shields, are quite literally Matt Nui from 2009's Shield piece.
Oh yeah, I noticed
Like-
that too.
On the Water Bohrok, at least they tried to make a new piece. They modified something. I don't really know what they did, but that's been the greatest convincing point for a lot of people. But on the Fire
there's a new
Bohrok,
piece
it's
on it?
literally just the 09 piece.
I mean, it's not, like, completely absurd that they might reuse that piece sometime. We don't really know if they would or not, because we don't work at LEGO ourselves, but it's a very odd placement, and there's no way for that piece to actually attach that way. So it's really clearly just placed there. But,
I want to see Bohrok.
As far as like an actual image creation perspective, I think the fire Bohrok is a bit more convincing than the water one. But the fact that the water one exists kind of discounts the fire one.
Yeah.
Because they're very clearly made by the same person. So it's just like the fact that the water one is so clearly fake, it just overwrites the fact that the red one could be real too.
Yeah.
Quite right. So it's like valiant effort, but
Stop it.
no dice. Stop it.
No
Yeah.
dice. Stop.
Gold star, you try to move along.
Yeah,
move
stop
along,
trying.
just to make it through.
I don't even know why people make fake leaks. It doesn't make any sense at all. Kai, you made a fake
Yes, I did.
leak. Why did you do it?
Because it was literally just for a joke. This is when Bionicle was not coming back, and as a joke, we took like characters from our comics and like redid them, like in a fake way, and people ate it. I saw on Tumblr the other day, and some people was like, "Oh, guys, nuclear."
Yeah.
They said, "Get nuclear. You're nuclear confirmed." And they were like, "Dude, I made this like 3 years ago."
It was
Come on.
really funny back when Bionicle was rumored to be coming back out last year.
Yeah.
When people would find this image and they're like, TTV, you guys need to report on this. Like, they would send us the leak that we already reported on that was real, and then they'd send
Right.
us a picture of nuclear.
I swear. Hi.
Literally.
This is so clearly fake, and it's old. It's 3
It's
years
100%
old.
fake, 100% fake, made it as a joke. It was back when we still did comics, and the idea back then was like, hey, we could do this kind of like viral joke marketing thing, where we would put it in like, we'd paste this link in, like in one topic on BZ Power, and then have, Pohuwaki, who did like all the Bionicle stuff back then, he did the comics for him, and have him move it to general artwork once everybody knew it was fake. So we did that, and we posted on Tumblr, and it just like, it never really turned up anything. We never did anything with like the comics, outside of like one or two, fun strips, but it was just, it's one of those things that I'm surprised people still find it.
It's just like, it's
somewhere.
like people don't do any research at all. Like, they'll just find an image and they're instantly like, oh my god, this is real. Like, come on, guys. You're on the internet.
Granted,
Yeah.
Kahi, this is why people have trust issues with us. You are why, Kahi. Let's fire him.
No, I mean,
What?
that doesn't make it. They should do research. They should know that
Right.
this image is years old. This isn't a
So
new
not only is
image.
it years
I
old,
realize,
we clearly
I
made it
realize.
as a joke. It's the old Bionicle logo. All the things are clearly parts from LBD.
Clearly.
Like we built these models in LBD and just re-rendered them.
Ironically, you also used the Motonui shield piece.
Okay, well,
it was
I didn't.
small
I
world.
didn't like when I say like LD's talking about me. That's me. Like in person, it's me and a group of people called the ICC. So I didn't like. I rendered like one of the images, and I think nuclear is done by either Filbert or like Blackie or Zakatano.
Oh,
Somebody.
so you didn't actually make nuclear yourself then?
No, nuclear is like it's an ICC product.
Right. So a thing that you were part of, but not.
I think I was
actually
part
you
of.
made yourself.
Like so, TTV in the same way that
Right.
Yeah, right. You know.
I got you.
Either way, burn quickly.
Either way, come on, people, quit. If you're gonna report on leaks or you're gonna spread leaks around, at least try to make an effort to determine if it's real or not. Don't be so
Don't
naive.
take everything at face value.
Well, it's like, in the interest of being fair, I know a lot of people probably see these and they're like, it's kind of wishful thinking. People would love to see the Bohrok back.
I mean, it is wishful thinking. That's why it's so easy to just be excited and declare them as real.
Yes.
But you need to use an objective mindset here and like actually think, is this real or
Yeah,
not?
if you just think for just a minute, you'll probably see that it's not legit.
Right. There are always signs to tell if it's real or not. That's why, because I mean, back when we got the initial 2015 leaks, we were still very unsure if that was real or not, and they were very convincing, those leaks. So we were like, it still could be fake. We didn't assume they were real until we actually talked with the people that found the initial ones.
Right.
Heck, Far,
Correct.
remember in the video that you and I made that morning?
We were like, we don't know if this is real or not, but I mean, it looks convincing enough to report on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were very skeptical. You were playing an extreme safe
Heck,
mode.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
when I think we saw one of those images like a day beforehand, before we reported on it, and we were going, hey, that looks like Tanma from 2008 over there. And
Right,
is that Peru
yeah, and then
from
the-
2006?
And then we saw, like the fire protector. We're like, is that Gresh?
Yeah.
can't.
Oh yeah, I remember
It was
that.
in black and white, right?
Yeah,
So
it was
we
in
were
black
like-
and white. It was so hard to tell. It just
Yeah.
looked like Photoshop. So it was really hard.
Exactly.
But,
and to
yeah,
put it this way,
we
Pohatu ended up being Tanma, and I believe Onua was Peruk.
lols.
It was a protector of fire that was 10, I think,
Okay. All right.
because of the swords. But no, yeah.
Oh wait, no, it was
The
it was
initial-
Protector of Jungle that I thought was Gresh.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, we didn't believe those until we actually did research, found out where they came from, talked with the people that you know brought them up initially, and it was only then that we believed that they were real. So it's just
The image quality itself was not enough to...
yeah, it's like you have to look into it and do research before you think something's, you know.
I do remember too. We were so scared when we first because when we talked to them, we're like, all right, we're pretty much like 90% sure. Not 90% sure. We're very certain that they were correct. But we were also like, if this is a really well done prank,
We're screwed.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
screwed.
we're
Like,
in trouble.
we came out, we were like, we talked to these people, and Bionicle is coming back. And I remember we were talking about, all right, we are gambling everything. We're sure it's correct, but like, we
What
weren't
if it's
like-
not? Yeah.
What if it's
If
not? What
we're
if it's
wrong
very
or if we're
convincing?
getting tricked, we're basically killing our popularity.
Yeah,
because nobody would ever look at us as a viable news
Yeah,
source ever again.
We were never-
distrust.
We were never
Yeah.
certain about whether Bionicle is truly coming back or not until the colored display came out. It was at that point we were like, okay, yeah, this is definitely real. But
Yeah,
No way.
like this is
but
really
up
convincing.
until that point, while we were really really confident the initial black and white leak was real, there's always this shadow of doubt. We were like, what if it's not? What if this is just a really good prank?
Yep.
So it's just
So we didn't even get to enjoy the first month of Bionicle hype because we were a bundle of nerves.
yeah, we were really scared it was gonna.
Had we made a mistake when it all comes
Scared it was
crashing
gonna
down
block in our
around us?
face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it all turned out well in the end.
it is kind of funny whenever like someone finds like a fake leak that is just clearly fake, and they tag us or send it to us, and they're like, "TTV, report on this."
Fariki!
Yeah.
Fariki's confirmed.
Now that's
on,
not to say
dude.
don't ever do that. That's really good in case it is real, but skepticism
Right, we were
is a
sent that
nice
initial
spice.
Bionicle leak by a fan too.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, if you ever want to send us leaks, go for it. I mean, hey.
Yeah, I mean, but just come on, try and
Use some
common sense. Yeah. But no, leak.
And while we're on the subject of leaks, there is an important thing that we must address, and that is leak season is almost upon us.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not even leak season yet. We don't typically get leaks this early, so even
No.
if these images were real, it would be a fluke. Like that. That's because
I'll put it to you this way. I know a lot of people are new in the community. New people, new fans of Bionicle don't know how leak season works. Last year was a fluke. We never get leaks that early. That was ridiculously...
yeah. The only reason we got that early was because it was from a box making company, not from
Yes,
the catalog.
that was going to make the stand display.
Exactly.
That's an anomaly, and I heavily, heavily doubt that the same highly suspect that leaked last year will do so again. That doesn't seem like a thing that's probably going to happen. So, what we're really looking at is we will probably get set names anywhere in the August to early September margin, and we will probably get set pictures in September. At least that's how it worked for Hero Factory. Obviously, more people care about Bionicle. There's more hype around Bionicle. That's why the leaks were so hard to keep under control last year. But we don't actually know
Yeah. Because, like,
if that will translate into anything.
I mean, it makes sense how it was, like, so easily distributable last year because, you know, all the kids that grew up with Bionicle and were happy about it are adults now working for LEGO. So it makes sense that the second they see, like, oh my god, Bionicle's coming back, they're going to spread it. It just
Yeah.
makes sense. But
Well, not necessarily working for Lego. Like, if you work in the company, there's NDAs and stuff, but they work in jobs that work closely with Lego. And if they see it then, you know, like the guy who worked at that boxing company, or, you know, just any other packaging thing,
I mean,
then they send that.
I obviously didn't literally mean they were sitting in a LEGO building working with a guy named Lego.
I mean, like,
Lego, come over
it's
here.
not the people
What is
working
it,
at the
Jimmy?
Lego company.
I mean, one of our leaks came from a LEGO store, so yes, I would say that it's because people work with LEGO.
You're not wrong.
No.
The documentation.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which, by the way,
yeah.
last year there were so many
weird.
ridiculous things. There was the display, there was the documentation from the Lego store. None of that's ever going to happen.
Speaking of the
again.
documentation, I want to talk about this because now it's a year later, and no one ever knew about this because we kept it to ourselves. But I feel like
Oh yeah, funny story
I
time.
feel like
Okay,
it's fine
let's
to
do
talk
this.
about it now. So, like, when the initial documents started leaking, this was the Kodo thing.
For those that don't remember, yeah, it was when we learned Okoto, we learned there were books, we learned how many Somersets there were.
Merlin Mann.
And we learned that Merlin Mann was going to be the script writer.
Yeah, so this was big, like, stuff as far as
It
story
got
stuff.
posted on our message
Yeah,
board.
the first place it was posted on was the message board. So technically, we were breaking that news. We didn't mean to, though. There was some guy signed up on our boards and posted it, and we didn't believe it. That was the funny thing. It's just like we saw this, and we were like, "What is this true or isn't it?" I have no clue. So
It was so weird. We never get any leaks like that.
I have
ever.
never seen a leak like that before. So it was so weird. So I contacted the guy and was like, "What is this? I need proof or something." And I wasn't expecting anything, but I remember getting a reply from him. It was just a link, and I'm like, okay." I click the link. It's an unlisted YouTube video. It is literally the guy in the Lego store. He takes out his cell phone. It's like a selfie shot. He smiles at the camera, turns the thing around, shows the Lego store,
Right!
and then he just walks back into the back of the building where all the sets are, all the stock and stuff, and he just holds the camera up at the board, and you could just see the document with BIONICLE on it and all the Yokoto information and everything. And I was like, what the heck?
That's movie tier, that is.
Yeah, that was
Show
like
you
some like
something.
that was like a secret agent kind of thing. I was like,
I want to show you something
I
beautiful.
have never,
I want to show you something beautiful.
I have never
Got these strings.
never once seen a leak that like that before, and that was just something else. That was an
Now,
experience already.
That was pretty
Granted,
great.
He did
We
that.
don't encourage that.
We don't encourage
Yeah,
that.
we don't. Because
Please don't
here's the
ever do
thing.
that again.
Yeah. Here's the thing. He got fired for that.
Yeah, he got fired, and that put us in a really, really difficult position where, like, we had this leak on our website, and we were like, what? We don't know what to do with it, because we know it's real, we know it came from an inside source, and we know it is most likely not legal. So it's like, do we just delete this? Should we, I don't know, put it elsewhere? It's just...
We actually had a really, really big debate.
Yeah, we argued
at, like,
about
2
it.
We
at,
argued
like,
about
2
it for a
a.m.
while.
We had an argument for hours about like what to do
Yeah.
about it.
We
because
brought morality in.
We're in a tricky situation. Like, most people love having exclusive scoops. But for us, it's a tricky situation considering the medium which we cover.
Right. It's not like because we don't want to, like, just screw over Lego or something.
We also don't want to screw over this guy who is, I mean...
Exactly,
you know,
and we
that's
also,
the
but we
thing.
also are a news source, so it's like we don't want to just ignore this bit of news where that would be very interesting to people, and like have someone else report on it when we had it all along, and it's just like it's not fair.
We were the original source.
Yeah, it's not fair to the subscribers that subscribe to us for news.
Yeah.
No.
So
It was a very difficult situation.
yeah. So please don't go into your Lego store showing confidential documents. That's a very, very bad idea.
Right,
Yeah.
like, we appreciate the effort, and we appreciate that you liked BIONICLE, but it's not really worth your job. Because by now, everybody knows all the information you showed us, and you lost
Yeah,
your job.
we learned about Okoto like
Right.
a week later. I was like, was it worth it?
Well, I have a feeling that we weren't going to learn about that until.
Until the leak. No, because definitely, like, people knew about those documents being leaked.
Yeah.
Like, it was, when we went to, New York Comic Con, the guy also talked about, like, he mentioned it, like, oh, you know, have you seen this document? I wrote that. That was Jordan Paxton. That's his job to write those things. And also, when we talked to Merlin Mann, he also reconfirmed that, like, oh yeah, you know, I saw my name on this document that was leaked
Yeah,
online.
suddenly my name was on some document. And
Yeah. yeah.
And then it all started from there.
That.
But the point I want to communicate.
It was amazing though. I just wanted to say that. Just like the BIONICLE 2015 hype up until like it actually being released was probably the most amazing thing of my life.
That was pretty exciting.
I just remember
Yeah.
feeling sick because I'd drunk an energy drink like an hour before. And then it's just like, BIONICLE's coming back, and I'm like,
come on. You know, there's very little better than coming back from a good day of work to find out about this.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
remember
this dream I had.
I remember waking up and it's like I checked Skype. I had just woken up. I checked Skype and there's like a million messages, and I check it.
I know, that's what happened to me. I got like messages from 10 people.
Yeah, and it's just like, guys, the color display is out. The color display is out. I'm like, what? And I'm instantly awake.
Yeah.
I remember I was at work. I took off work so much to record all these podcasts and stuff about these leaks.
Yeah,
That
well,
was
you
such a
do
trigger.
that nowadays.
But as we said, that was a fluke. That will likely
Yeah,
not
that's
happen
gonna
again.
Here's the point I want to drill home to people. We're in an interesting situation. We don't know how the BIONICLE hype will translate as far as leak season goes. All I can tell you is what typically happens for Hero Factory. And that is, we first hear about the winter wave, not usually from catalog scans. Not anymore. It used to be that we'd get scans from the catalog, or like cell phone pictures. People have pretty much stopped doing that, because the retailer catalogs are always under lock and key, and it's very difficult to get pictures of them. I mean, we still could, but our best bet is to find them on online shop sites, of which there's pretty much only like 1 or 2 remaining that still post leaked pictures.
Yeah.
The one that we found the BIONICLE pictures on last year, the ones with the packaging for the first time, was actually one that's been doing it since about 2011. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't actually show up on Google searches. I only knew about it because I had it bookmarked.
Yeah.
And I like randomly went there.
Oh,
so
I remember that when we broke that. It was the original Toa coming back too.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we
we're not
broke that news, didn't we?
Meso found
We're
that.
not-
Yeah.
we're not gonna know anything until August, September, unless we get lucky.
And then no one ever cited us
So-
for that news.
Yeah.
That was annoying, actually.
It
We
is.
we broke a lot of news, and no one ever gave us credit for it.
Remember we broke the Minecraft news, and Kotaku reported on it, but they instead of citing us, they cited Eurobricks member Mesonac found this leak, and I was like, really?
No, Kotaku cited the Brick Fan, and then the Brick Fan.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
The Brick
Because
Fan
Mesa posted
cited
it on
Eurobricks
EV
member
before.
If we had had a website at that time, then it would have been us.
on Kotaku.
We didn't.
Oh well.
Okay.
Oh well, you live and you learn.
But yeah,
Yeah.
moral of the
Next
story.
time.
Moral of the story, leaks are probably not going to come out right away. You're going to have to wait like a couple more months before we start actually getting real stuff. Maybe. There is a chance that we might see some real stuff pop up simply because BIONICLE is super popular and a lot of people might be too excited to keep it secret.
But don't expect
But
it.
yeah, don't expect it.
And expect
It'll be a
fake
surprise
leaks.
if it does.
I'm excited now.
Expect many a fake
And
leak.
al- always-
it's time to get excited. It's time to not expect it, but we can start getting hype for 2016.
Yeah, always be skeptical about leaks. Leaks are easily faked, so.
Honestly,
Trust me, I know.
just be skeptical at any internet pictures. I mean, like, if you have
Definitely.
Photoshop available, then you should always be skeptical, especially if you don't know how Photoshop works, like I do.
I mean, yeah, and it's like people are learning tools like Photoshop earlier and earlier in their lifetime too. It's like, because I used Photoshop when I was a kid, so it's just like, if I've got that experience, I'm sure there are plenty of
Right.
people with that experience.
I've only just been introduced to Photoshop this year, and I haven't touched
Maybe-
it since.
Maybe we should do our own leak, like as a social experiment.
No!
See how many people fall.
Absolutely not.
That would be.
Kai, we're trying to rebuild our
Clear
and we're trying to like
2.0.
build up our credibility as a news
If
source.
we weren't trying to be a credible news source, that would be an excellent idea. Because I'm actually kind of curious to see how well we could do.
Right,
And-
I mean, imagine that's like a new episode of Bionicle Autopsy where we perform social experiments on the fan base and
Yeah.
then, report the
that,
results.
okay, that sounds kind of cool.
it sounds cool, but that would screw us as far as
yeah.
reputation.
Yeah, I
well,
mean, we're
yeah,
still
yeah.
trying to rebuild our rep after the debacle you started, Kahi, with the stupid nuclear.
Listen,
Gosh.
It's amazing how like one article out of like all the other ones that we got right, suddenly just like that's what you're remembered for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let alone the fact that we were like one of the first people to report on Bionicle actually coming back. No, it's it's a soft reboot, not a reboot. That's what we're remembered for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Vahi is back. It actually
Anyway.
is back.
So there was one more thing which we wanted to talk about, but I actually was like going to prepare to talk about it, and I find it's a non-issue. We were going to talk about how Just Too Good on YouTube, another news guy, got his channel shut down, but his channel's back.
Oh, is it?
He got it back.
Oh,
He got one of the copyright strikes
that's
removed.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's great news.
So it's a non-news story. He got it back.
Good
job.
Yeah, his channel got 3 copyright strikes and it got shut down. And we were going to talk about like copyright and how it could affect people and people reporting Lego news. But nice.
Yeah,
got it back.
that's really good. Because Just Too Good's got a great channel. He's got a great subscriber count too. I would hate to see that just disappear.
He blew up insanely quickly.
He really did. It's really.
I remember the
intriguing.
days when he didn't have that many subscribers. His growth ratio is amazing. He's like almost at 32,000.
Yeah,
What?
it's really impressive. I also like his comeback video. He's like, "Just Too Good is back for good."
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty great.
Listen, man.
Speaking of other Lego YouTubers that have spiked in popularity, Lego Jang, dude.
Hey, it's
Jang
Jang
Bricks.
Bricks.
Jang Bricks.
Yeah, sorry, Jang Bricks.
I'm gonna go look at what he's at and cry.
'Cause
380,000.
yeah, fun fact. At one point, we had more subscribers than him.
At one point.
So that really goes to show you how fast he grew.
Yeah.
Yep.
But then again, he has
I'm just
a lot
amazed.
of great content. He's a quality reviewer, one of the best.
I think
He is one of the best. I'm amazed.
I think he's almost
He was
the
able.
best.
He used to be just Construction. He used to be a BIONICLE mockist and like a Hero Factory mockist, and he would do the HF set reviews and he'd do his mocks in between seasons, and that was how he was popular. He diversified, and it didn't hurt. It like helped him like so much. He
Yeah.
started doing other themes, and people watched them.
he started doing
no matter
other
how
companies.
obscure they
That's
were.
really inspiring.
I mean, yeah,
He
I
wanted-
want to do other themes.
He started doing mega blocks and people watching it. He started doing like basically whatever he wanted.
Started doing Playmobil?
He's doing a Let's Play. Yeah, Playmobil. He's doing a Let's Play of Jurassic World and people are watching it.
Did you just say
Wow.
Playmobil?
So
That's really great. That's
It's a
pretty
good
great.
thing. He has enough of a reputation. People will give him the benefit of the doubt with all of his stuff and assume like it's quality content and watch it no matter their particular niche interest.
Yeah.
And that's the dream for
That is
everyone.
the dream. That's the
really.
dream for every content creator, is to do something and everybody will still watch it just because you're doing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is absolutely the dream. Come on, guys, where's our fans?
Man, I used
Yeah, I know.
I love Playmobil. Playmobil was partly my childhood.
Oh, really? Yeah, because he has some.
no one asked.
Yeah, I always seem to
Wow, then.
I always seem to forget about it though until it's on television. Like new from Playmobil. I'm like, oh, Playmobil.
Oh, that's still a thing.
Yeah, it just brings back memories of when I was like friends with people, and we used to.
Wow! That went dark so fast.
Story of LJ's life.
What is it with you? You always like into a conversation while saying something really, really depressing.
Yeah, this
I
this
didn't
reminds
make-
me
I
of
didn't
when
want
was
it
at
to
my
be
grandma's
depressing.
funeral.
I was just saying.
You'll find me tonight under the bridge.
Hanging there.
Hanging there.
Hey,
You say it so casually.
I was
too.
in a really bad mood that episode because I'd just been told off
I can tell.
by my mum.
I wasn't there in the episode, but I wanted to comment. You had some hilarious comments at the start.
I
Yeah.
swear though,
Yeah.
Tahu? Really?
Dude, Todd is
Yeah.
hot, man.
I
Okay, look at
I
this.
told you at the
Jang
beginning, and I'll
Bricks.
tell you again. It was just like a hero slash role model thing.
No!
Like-
No!
Look at this.
What?
Look at this.
Would you
What?
rather
So,
met me
Jang
role
Bricks
model
has a-
Zactan?
Stop this discussion.
Jang Bricks has a video. C3 Toys WWE Stack Down Wrestler Mystery
No.
Pack opening.
Woohoo! WWE.
20,000 views.
What?
That's
How?
like that's like better than our average.
Hey,
Nothing
got,
to
like-
do with anything, and he
Oh,
still
yeah.
brings that many views.
hey, people like
WWE
WWE.
Super Slam!
People like seeing
John Cena.
people like seeing sweaty men pretend to fight in a ring.
And we're
Like
done.
to see Tahu.
Why did you have to make it sound weird? Why?
Why
Did you
God.
do that?
Do
Here's a
that.
video. Built in 60 seconds. Lego Friends Heart Lake private jet. 13,000 views.
Actually,
That's
you know
awesome.
what? I mean,
That's after 2 days.
We should diversify. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I want to. I want to do other Lego
Oh,
sets.
Yeah, it's just the
Diversify.
kind of thing that has to be done carefully.
See, okay, the reason why we can't be Jangbricks is because people in our comments go like, "Oh, you guys didn't talk about Bionicle. Where's all the but you made one video this week that wasn't related to Bionicle. What's with all the non-Bionicle content, guys?"
We've got the
I'm really
Bionicle
surprised.
loyalists.
I'm very surprised. I didn't see any of those comments in any of the relationship TTV talks.
Yeah, people actually really like that. Those episodes.
Yeah,
Oh,
love
good. We
gurus
could do
right
a
here.
whole series about it.
Yeah, a whole
Let's
series.
do
of-
it. Dating advice with TTV. we should have like Finn, Viper, and Takuma give advice to people.
What,
Show
it's,
up,
it's like
well
X
dressed.
Different
Factor.
perspectives.
Well, yeah, be well dressed, but not dressed too much. Don't want to overdo it.
Not
Don't want to
too
underdo it.
well-dressed. You don't
Takuma's,
want to look like a freak.
Takuma's like the
We
Simon
stopped being like a
Cowell.
Bionicle News and turned into BuzzFeed.
Hey, we got a top 10.
reasons your relationships don't work out.
Which Toa do girls find most attractive? Click here to
Tahoe,
find out.
apparently.
Lego Creator 2015 Ferris wheel, 155,000 views. What?
So you're just trying to upset us
Yeah.
now, aren't you?
Yeah, listen, I mean, we've done
Moral
top
of the
10
story:
pretty well.
Jangbricks
But-
is the guy to go to.
He is the
Moral of
guy.
the story, he is a fantastic reviewer, and probably one of, I think, for me, he's my personal favorite reviewer. No offense to all of
I'm
you.
not saying
Oh,
it's
you're sponsoring him and no one asked us to.
Yeah, I
That'd
swear.
be funny.
We've asked him
Yeah,
to
it's
come
like-
on and have like an interview. He never responded to us.
Ouch.
We're small
You need
fry,
to-
man.
You do that.
Yeah.
I mean, we were back then. Now we're like still
Slightly
small
larger
fry.
fry.
Slightly
We're
larger.
like-
Well,
we're,
he's
we're like
way
an
larger.
18.
Now
we're in
we're
that like
We're
in that like medium between like the smaller channels and then like the really big channels.
So we're a
We are
medium
like
channel.
Game Theory in 2013.
we're like we were an 18th of Jangbricks subscriber base. An 18th.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like when you look at Lego channels, you've got like 3 tiers. You've got like the one tier that's like, like 1,000 subscribers to like 5,000 subscribers. Then you've got the next tier that's like 20,000, like 15,000 to 30,000, and then after that, it's just like 300,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing bigger than that. It's like you either take off like to a ridiculous degree, or you don't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel
then
like
you
it's
do a gradual
all
thing.
exponential growth. That's why there's such a huge divide, is because by the time you've checked on this other channel that has like 300,000 people, that growth when he went to 20,000 to 100,000, that happened so much quicker
Right.
than from 5,000
Because he had
to
more
2,000,
people that were
20,000.
spreading that around.
Right. And like the more people that watch it, it's accumulative. It grows super fast.
Yeah, so like the more
Exactly.
subscribers you have, the more you're going to get.
We had 300 subscribers one year, and that went to 2,000 the next year. And then it was like, 4,000? And then it was 12,000, and now it's going to be 20-something by the end of this year.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
So
It's a goal.
that it's exponentially going. It's at least
gonna
doubling
be-
each year.
It's gonna be good stuff.
It's always good to have a goal for yourself, so
It is good to have a
Yeah.
goal.
Have to go.
shut up, LJ.
Mike my Viper.
All right. Well, on that
She's
note,
gonna sick Tahoe on you, man.
No one's gonna let that joke go, are they? You're clinging onto it tight like
Kinda
an
like how
overly
you're never
obsessive
gonna
person.
let Tahoe go, right?
Viper, you should be
Never let
lucky
go,
we
Jack.
haven't mixed your earlier WWE comment with your Tahoe comment.
Did you have that in your mind, LJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, were you
LJ.
thinking about that?
And it turns around on me. Gosh dang it!
You throwing tomatoes at me as I'm in one of those locked things.
Tomatoes.
Listen,
And it turns right back around.
I don't know what they're called.
Viper, do you say potato?
Potato.
Why do you say potato, but then you say tomato?
Tomato.
So why don't you say potato?
I don't know.
You don't make any
that's the thing.
sense!
Guys, I keep telling you guys, it's a British thing.
That
Kind, be
doesn't
quiet.
excuse
You're
it, you
just
freaking
jealous
moron.
of my Britishness.
I mean, yeah, I kind of am, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
That
that
accent
accent
makes-
nobody would comment on stuff I said.
Yeah,
That
you're
accent
right. We
makes
wouldn't,
everyone
but you
swoon.
don't, so we do.
Anyway.
So anyway, thank you all very much for listening to episode 149
That's what-
of the TTV
I've got a bone to pick
Podcast.
with you. You really need to stop letting us go off on tangents and just shut us up.
You know,
The
Paul, I
tangents
got
are
a
the best
bone to
part.
pick with you. You need to stop getting on our case.
So
about
thank
things.
you all for listening to TTV 149.
You're improving.
I will end you.
We will. No. I gotta be LJ to close it off. I will end you.
That was my joke, you jerk!
So
Alright, thank you all for watching TTV.
we will see you all. We will see you all next week for the next exciting episode of the TTV Podcast. Please be sure to rate, favorite, share, like, comment, etc. Go to the TTV message boards to continue the discussion.
Watch us on Vessel. We are on
Watch
Vessel.
on Vessel.
And
Our Vessel
the Vessel
channel just
thing
launched.
is up.
Yeah.
Check our announcement video. Check the description
If-
for all the necessary links.
If you are watching this video on YouTube, you are a week behind.
Yeah, you are a week behind. That is important to note. You can go see the next. Well, not for the podcast.
No, yeah, you are.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're a week behind if you're listening to this on YouTube right now.
Yep, you can go to Vessel to watch the podcast for free. You can watch next week's episode. Everything else, $3 a month.
For everybody, not
We'll
like
see
just
you-
for our content.
For everybody, yeah. So we will
yeah.
see you all next week for the next exciting episode of the TV Podcast.
150.
I'm Messman.
I'm Vardaran. LJ.
I'm LJ.
I'm Kahi.
I'm Venom.
A Viper.
Why did we say it like
And see you all next week for the big 150 celebration
There
extravaganza.
will be
it'll
no
probably be a regular
celebration,
episode.
no extravaganza. Bye.
There will be nothing
Makuta Fest
because
is coming
Var
up.
hates fun.
Makuta Fest.
Oh yeah,
Makufos. There will be a paddling pool and a bounce castle making a joke to Tumblefest.
Well, I mean, we got it, but then you ruined the joke by explaining the joke in the
No,
joke.
some people don't know the
Here's
joke.
the
Var.
joke.
Some people don't
Now
know
here's
the
why it's
joke,
funny.
and then people are like,
Well,
what the
then
heck
they
are you
won't
talking
find it
about?
funny, will they? Explaining it to them isn't going to make them laugh.
Alright, see you all
Bye,
next time.
guys.
Come on.
Fare thee well, everyone.
You guys think we're going to have an episode where we don't interrupt each other or yell at each other?
I don't know about that.